Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. On this video I'm going to be explaining the purpose and utilities of all of the tokens in the Wealth app one by one and hopefully quite quickly. I'll try to keep it under a minute each, so I advise you to take something to mark down your favorite ones, as I'm going to be skipping ahead quite quickly and I'll go straight to the point. Without further ado, let's go to the first one. And the first crypto we're going to be talking about is Bitcoin. Bitcoin initially was supposed to be a medium of exchange, but it rebranded itself with time as it wasn't scalable into a store of value. Now, why is it a good store of value? Simply because there's a limited amount of Bitcoin. This means that it's not affected by inflation. Inflation is basically when a government prints out a lot more of their money and then that money is worth less. For example, when you have $1, if the government prints 1,000 extra dollars, then this dollar will be worth a little bit less than before, simply because there's much more in the market. Bitcoin cannot do that, and therefore it fights the inflation the US, for example, is creating at the moment. What can you do when you have a lot of Bitcoin? You can vote for the implementations, important implementations that will happen on the Bitcoin blockchain, like the Lightning Network vote that we have seen recently. And the second cryptocurrency on the list, as always, will be Ethereum. Ethereum is the king of smart contract. A smart contract is basically a deal that will activate when a particular condition is met. This is something you couldn't do with Bitcoin and is why Ethereum is considered a generation 2 blockchain, because it is able to run smart contracts. What you can do when you have a lot of Ethereum is either run a node, either pay gas fee. Gas fee is basically the transaction fee when you do a transaction on their blockchain, and we know a lot of tokens on their blockchain, so it represents a fair amount of transactions. For example, if you have Enjin and you want to transfer them to Enjin, which is another form of Enjin, you will have to pay gas fees, and these gas fees are paid in Ethereum. So you have to buy Ethereum to pay these gas fees. It will be done automatically, but you still need to have the Ethereum from somewhere. So these are the two main utilities of Ethereum, and it's famous for smart contracts. And now we're going straight to my biggest bias, which is CHSB. CHSB is SwissBorg's native token. SwissBorg is a company aiming to make investing easier, and CHSB is a token aiming to make the easy investing more profitable. So when you have a lot of CHSB, you can stake it for premium, which will give you bigger yield, lower fees, voting rights, and airdrops. And when you have enough, you can also join the National Council, which will be taking decisions and participating in ventures, which will be investing in small cap tokens to try and get an extremely good return, and also collaborate with them on future projects. And you can also in the future participate to IFO, which are initial coin offerings, which will be interesting because they'll be on multiple blockchains in collaborations with some of the tokens that we will see later on. So CHSB is going to make your investing more profitable on their app. And the next token is my personal favorite stablecoin, which is USDC. USDC is an audited stablecoin, which means that each USDC is worth $1 and is backed by $1, and it's been checked and validated by companies that are allowed to do so. It's a hedge against volatility and it's tradable, which means that basically what you're going to do is own some USDC to be able to average down when the market goes down too much, or just keep your profits when the market goes up a lot. So you're not going to be buying it to make profit, you're going to be buying it just to even out your portfolio if that's how you want to play it. After USDC, we're going to be talking about BNB. BNB is Binance's native coin, and Binance is a cryptocurrency platform that's making trading much cheaper. Trading and investing as well. They're going to be giving very, very competitive prices to their customers. That's because what they do is basically anything that makes them money. It's a full profit organization, and their token is going to allow you to have even fewer fees and participate to initial exchange offerings, which are low cap tokens that you can invest in if that's something that you like to do. And the next token we're going to be talking about is USDT, which is basically the same concept as USDC, but it has had legal problems in the past, so I don't like it as much, sorry. And it's going to be offering you stability. It's going to be highly liquid, which means that you're going to be able to sell it and buy it with a lower spread than USDC, simply because there's more people buying and selling it, so it'll have easier offers on the market. You'll find it at more places. Tether's slightly more popular than USDC at the moment. And that's about it. The next token is XRP. XRP is Ripple's native token, and Ripple is a company that's aiming at helping banks and other financial intermediaries to swap between currencies without paying too much fee or having too much spread. The XRP token in itself isn't too useful, but it can be a great bridge between different currencies. So if you want to swap different things and you don't know through what to go, XRP can be a good bridge, and it's pretty much feeless. So if you want to send it to one of your friends, it's very scalable and you won't pay much, which means that it's a good medium of exchange. So these two things are worth noting, even if they're not really utilities, just like every other. But I thought it was important to mention, so here we go. The next project we're going to be talking about is Polygon, and Polygon is a little bit more complicated to understand. Basically, it's going to be helping Ethereum. It's a layer 2 solution, which means it's not going to be affecting Ethereum in its original code, but it's going to go, let's say, on top of it and help Ethereum become more scalable, more secure, and more efficient. And this is also going to help all of the tokens that are built on Ethereum. And I'm not going to go into the details of how technologically it's going to do that, but yeah, basically it's Ethereum assistance. And what you can do with the token is pay the Polygon network fees. You can also have a governance or a say in what they do, and you can stake it. This next token is slightly more easy to understand. It's the Tether Euro. It's a Euro pegged token, which means that it will always be the same value as Euro, and it's developed by the company Tether, which is the same as the one that does the USDT. Pax Gold is the next project that we're going to be talking about. It's basically regulated gold. It's crypto gold, which means that you have all of the assets that gold has, which are also like countering inflation, store of value, and all of that. But you don't have the whole problem of having to transport it. Why is Pax Gold good? Because you can go to the Pax Gold HQ and send them your PAXG in exchange for real literal gold. So there's a physical backing of all of the PAXG, and it's going to be very cool to fight inflation, just like the stable coins that we've seen before. And also you can go and get your shiny coins if you want to over there, which is a cool asset, I think. And the next project we're going to be talking about is Enjin. Enjin is aiming to be the leader in NFTs, NFTs being the images that you can send, sell, and collect that are going to be often linked to video games. So you'll be playing a video game and winning an item in that game. That item will be on the blockchain and you'll be able to sell it or keep it or send it to another account, for example. And these are all done through NFTs. So the image that you have in your account is also in your game, and it has a particular value. The value is set by the market, so people decide how much that value is of. And what you can do with Enjin and their token is buy NFTs or mint NFTs. So you can either get some stuff from the market for your games or create some NFTs to give them to your friends or sell them on the market. The next crypto going to be going over is KNC. KNC is Kyber Network's native token. Kyber Network is aiming to help with token exchanges. It's going to basically allow you to take a certain crypto and exchange it for another crypto. It's going to be helping merchants to accept whatever they want and people to pay with whatever they want, and this can be from one blockchain to another. When you do this, you will be paying fees in KNC, which is why it's good to buy the token, and it's also good to have voting rights. And the more KNC you have, the more power your voice has on their governance. Next token on the list is Compound's native token Comp. What does Compound do? It's basically going to be a lending pool provider, which means that people are able to deposit money that will be lended out to borrowers, and people can borrow money from these lenders, and then they have to give back the money with a certain interest, which is what the people will be getting. With the currency, you'll be able to have voting rights, and you'll also be receiving dividends on the certain interest rates that the person has given back to you on the lended money. Next on the list is a very similar one, which is Aave. Aave is also, it's doing yield protocol and it's doing yield farming, and it's also about lending and borrowing. Having the token gives you a fee reduction on the services and governing rights. It's very similar to Compound, but it's a little bit more popular at the moment at least. Next on the list is Ren. Ren is a multi-chain provider, which means that you'll be able to swap tokens from one blockchain to another like we've seen before, only it's run by dark nodes, which means that the transactions are a little bit more anonymous than they would have before. It's a peer-to-peer decentralized blockchain, which means that there's no one that's going through or controlling or blocking any of your transactions. You'll be able to do it with peace of mind, and having some Ren will help you become one of these dark nodes that are running the network, and you'll be getting some of the fees, and it will also help you pay fees on the transactions that are done using their system. Next on the list is DAI. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but this is another coin that is pegged to US dollar. The main difference is that it's decentralized and it's going to be ensuring stability, a hedge against volatility, and it's going to be very tradable on different blockchains. But basically it's the same concept as the others. It will try to stay as close as 1-to-1 to the dollar as possible. Next on the list is Polkadot, and Polkadot's native token is DOT. What does Polkadot want to do? They want all of the blockchains to operate together to offer the best experience to people. For example, the smart contracts that are running on Ethereum at the moment wouldn't have any effect on Bitcoin or on Bitcoin's blockchain because it's just two different things. But if Polkadot manages to do what they want to do with the project, you could potentially have a smart contract that triggers a transaction on Bitcoin. So as you see, they want to regroup everything to have all of the technologies working together. Having DOT will allow you to have governance over the decisions taken on the network, and it will help you stake and bond, which are relatively similar, so block some tokens to have even more of them. Next on the list is a somewhat peculiar crypto as it is audio, and basically they're aiming to replace streaming and music because at the moment they believe that it's not fair and community centric enough, so they're building a decentralized way of listening to music and paying the artists. With the token you can either buy music or you can also donate to the artist if you feel like it, and you can become a node if you're considered a provider. If you are an artist you can have access to special features, but this is not really linked to having a lot of the tokens, so I didn't write it here. At the moment they really want people to join their platform because it's quite niche and there isn't everything on it yet, but hopefully in the future they'll be able to grow and thrive. Next on the list is BAT, and BAT is the basic attention token. This browser is Brave and they offer you ad control, so you can select how much advertisement you want to see when you browse the internet, and then you'll be paid regarding to the certain selection that you have made. And why is this a good value proposition? Because they believe that if you are paid to see ads and if you select how many ads you want to see, you'll pay more attention to these ads, and then companies will be more likely to pay money for you to see these ads, as you will probably pay more attention than if you're forced to see them. What can you do with the BAT token? The only thing that you can do is get people to watch your ads. So you have to buy BAT to display ads on Brave. Chiliz is a token that's aiming at making sports entertainment more friendly, the whole sector, and stuff that you'll be able to do with their token is, for example, buy merch, bet on results, and even some teams may delegate some of the decision making on the team management to the Chiliz owners, so you can actually pay to vote on which player you want to see on the field or not. So they are making money for the players that are on the bench, and the people are choosing, so they have a bigger say, which is also why they are buying the token, and it makes it more interesting for everyone. Next up is Curve.io, and Curve.io is aiming to be a peer-to-peer lending platform, so you'll be able to lend to people directly without an intermediary and borrow from people directly without an intermediary. So that means that there's a bigger return for the individual, and with the token you'll be able to obviously use the service, but also have a governance, a saying on whatever happens inside the app and the new implementations that are to be offered, stake and boost on yield, so make all of your transactions more profitable. Next on the list is GRT, which is the Graph, and the Graph is a company or a project aiming at making a crypto search engine. Basically, just like Google, you'll be able to group up all of the data regarding a certain blockchain or a certain project and search it up just to find the information that you need. This is going to be particularly useful for developers and analysts that want more information than the average Joe, and they need something to regroup all of the info for them because it's quite complicated to do so if you don't have the proper tools. And why would you own it? You have to stake it to use this crypto search engine, so this is why people buy it. Next up is one that I like, but it's quite complicated to explain, and it's Chainlink. And Chainlink is, I called it an IRL blockchain link. Basically, we've seen that smart contracts are deals that will trigger when a certain event occurs or when a certain criterion is met. Well, Chainlink wants to make that also in the outside world. So you'll be doing a smart contract that will trigger when something in real life happens. Let's say I bet with you that the weather in London will be shiny tomorrow and will be very sunny. When I lose, the Chainlink will detect it, will link the weather with the certain smart contract and activate the smart contract, and my money will go to you because it was obviously raining. And why would you own Chainlink? Because you have to pay for that particular service. Next on the list is Uniswap. Uniswap is going to allow you to trade or swap tokens that are on the ERC20 blockchain. This is the Ethereum blockchain. So as we've seen, there's obviously Ethereum and Enjin and loads of other tokens like CHSB that are on that blockchain, and Uniswap will be allowing you to swap from one to another. And having some of their tokens will give you governance rights. UTK is Utrust's native token. What Utrust is trying to do is facilitate online payments with merchants. This means that you'll be able to give cryptocurrency and the merchant will be receiving fiat, and this will be all done through UTK with a 1% fee. And if you use their token, you'll pay no fee. Next on the list is SushiSwap. SushiSwap is similar to Uniswap. It's an ERC20 trading and staking platform. You'll be able to do a lot of stuff on it, but the main utilities of the token is going to be to pay lower fees when you use their services, and you'll have a governance right. So you'll have a say in what they decide to implement on their project. To stay with the swaps, we're going to be talking about PancakeSwap, and PancakeSwap is basically just like SushiSwap and Uniswap. It's going to allow you to do lots of stuff with tokens that are on the Binance Smart Chain, and this is the particularity of this one. And having some of their tokens will allow you to have better governance and better rewards, for example, on the staking. Next on the list is Cardano, and I've named Cardano a problem solver because it's a third generation blockchain which is still aiming at solving the first and second generations problems, which are scalability, interoperability, and sustainability. And they're going to be solving this in a very particular way that I won't have time to explain in this video, but owning some of their tokens will give you voting rights in whatever the project is going to launch, and they have a massive treasury, so there's a lot of stuff that you can vote on, and it's going to help you operate a stake pool if you want to, so people can then stake on your stake pool and you'll get a certain dividend on whatever they make. Now let's talk about FTT, which is the FTX trading platforms token. So FTX is, as I said, a trading platform, so a place where you can trade cryptocurrencies, stop loss, you can have price alerts, leverage trading and stuff like that. And the token will be used to have a collateral for futures and a discount on fees. dYdX is a decentralized trading platform, which basically means that you will be able to do whatever you want with your cryptocurrency, so swap it, trade it, whatever you want. Without having a central entity, having a look over it, regulating it, controlling it, doing anything with it. So you'll be in control of your wealth, and owning the token will enable you to have holders rewards, which I call dividends, but it's not dividends, it's just rewards for doing stuff within the ecosystem. You'll also have some governance rights, so you'll be able to vote, and you will pay fewer fees on their platform. Last but not least is the Occam.fi's OCC token. Occam.fi is a Cardano launchpad, which means that new projects that are based on the Cardano blockchain will be able to ask for funding through Occam.fi. And their token is used, first of all, if you want to invest in all of these projects, if you want to become a member of their DAO, if you want a right of governance, but also if you want early access to the projects that will be listed, if you want access to private rounds, and if you want a private group with the board of directors, as much as a lot of other stuff. So they're really giving a lot of utilities to that token, and it's going to be listed next Thursday on the SwissBorg app, so we can pay attention to all of what they're doing. It's quite interesting. And here we go, this was the last token. Please remember that these were really summarized. If one of these projects is really interesting to you and you want to know more about it, but you can't be bothered doing the research yourself, please leave a comment. I can always do a video regarding it. It's just that it would take a lot more time, and the attention span that we have probably couldn't handle a video with all of these tokens explained extensively. So here we go, that was really summarized. It's for you guys. Hopefully you understand a bit better everything that we have on the app, and I hope to see you soon. Cheers.